on mommy duty as always, and so I wasn't able to complete the show title in the when I was logging in to go live. I wasn't able to finish typing in what the show was going to be about. So if you peeped it already, it probably just says, do astrological opposites attract? It even got that far because I was just so focused on being live. I don't even know what exactly I typed. So tonight we are talking about the astrological opposites. And I know that we briefly talked about this on another segment, but we didn't take it as far as astrologically. We just kind of talked about it on a basic level about opposites attracting. Oh, you like white, I like black. Maybe you're from this background, I'm from that background. Maybe you're from the South, you're from the North. But tonight we're going to take it deeper. We're going to go beyond the surface and we're going to talk about the astrological polar opposites tonight.
Welcome back. Soraya is here tonight.
Hi, Soraya. Welcome back. Girl, I feel you. I be having to gather my life every day. Okay. So we completely understand. So we're just going to just dive right in. What about your seventh house? Well, the seventh house, rules relationships. So we're not going to deep dive into the seventh house tonight, Queen Nia 22, but that is tied to your relationships, partnerships, marriage, things of the like. So further on down the line, we may talk about the seventh house. But tonight, we're just going to focus on the astrological opposites because, astrology is very deep. And it's so many different aspects and segments to it that we couldn't possibly get through an entire show talking about the asteroids, your houses, comets, all things like that. It's just too much to talk about in one show. So maybe we'll talk about the seventh house later on down the line. So in astrology, we often see the concept of opposites on the zodiac wheel. And if you guys didn't know, each sign has a polar opposite, which means they have a sign that is directly across from it. And for example, Aries, the complete opposite, or not opposite, the polar opposite of Aries is Libra. The polar opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. The polar opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius. Cancer is Capricorn. Leo and Aquarius. Virgo and Pisces. So even though they're opposites, each sign complement each other because they bring different energies and perspective to the relationship. And this can be platonic. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's just talking about the energy between two people. So let me give you guys some examples just to wet your whistle so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And Aries is bold, fiery energy and very impulsive, while a Libra is very diplomatic and balanced. But together, they can learn, right, Queen Nia 22, that yin and yang energy. Together, they can learn from each other. Maybe the Aries needs to learn how to be more balanced because, them fire signs be just like, go, 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 go. And it's Leo season, what? And so an Aries can learn a lot from a Libra, how to be more balanced, how to channel that energy into maybe doing something that is less rah-rah. And on the flip side of that, an Aries can teach a Libra the value of how to be more decisive and not always compromising and trying to make everybody happy. So each sign can learn from each other. And I happen to be a Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node. So it is incredibly hard for me to balance out that energy because whenever I find myself giving too much to the extent where my cup is empty, I'm in my South Node. I'm in my Scorpio South Node. But when I start focusing on myself more, when I start channeling the energy into doing things that are going to be beneficial, not only for my greater good, my highest good, my higher self, I'm in my North Node, that Taurus energy. And Taurus energy is slow moving. Even though I'm a Sagittarius sun, I have to remain in my Taurus energy because that's the direction that my soul needs to be moving in order for me to get to my bag. And we're not going to get too far into North Node and South Node. We actually have a video on that already. So we're not going to get into that.
All right.
So yes, so this is a short breakdown on how astrological opposites can challenge each other to grow in ways that they wouldn't have on their own, because this mutual growth strengthens the bond and leads to a deeper connection. Now, I do have a couple of questions that I drafted up. Oh, you're too real. How did you balance that? Let me tell you. Are you asking how I balanced out my Scorpio South Node and my Taurus North Node? It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Listen. And I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you it's easy. My co-host up here as well also has a Scorpio South Node. So it is incredibly important for us to keep each other on task and to stay on point, because it's so easy to fall into old habits. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to fall into old habits. And so how do I balance it? Just making sure that I am surrounding myself with people that are moving in the same direction as my soul calling. You know, honestly, I try not to get involved with energies that could pull me back into my South Node. And that's how I keep it pushing. I try to surround myself with people that I know are going to be for my greater, my highest good, and are going to be good for my soul. That's how I balance out the energy. So I have a couple of questions that I wanted to pose, not only for you, Magoon, but also for people that are on, that want to be interactive with us on the podcast. Have you ever been attracted to someone who was astrologically opposite to you? And what was that experience like? And pause before you answer, because when I'm talking about astrologically, I'm not talking about, like I said in the beginning, I like cooked food, or I like baked chicken and you like fried, or I'm from the South and you're from, I'm talking astrologically. Like, this person is a Leo and you're an Aquarius, or, you know, you're a Libra and I'm an Aries. Like, I'm talking astrologically different. Have you ever dated someone who was your complete opposite, and how did that experience go for you? So I'll let you answer first, Magoon.
I sure will, because I sure have. I can't even say we dated, right? Because to know, well, for those of you who know me, I have been in a lot of, I can't even say situationships. I've been in the presence of people where you can tell that the chemistry's there, but they don't want to move forward. That has been the energy of all of the times that I, as a sun sign Cancer, have interacted with the sun sign Capricorn. And and let me tell you, to the extent, now there's one particular person, he always has my heart, right? But I truly believe that when, at that point in my life, was going to be the one, like not the one, like I'm gonna marry you and things, but we are supposed to be in each other's lives. We're supposed to be dating. We would go out, right? The very first time that we met, he had me spending over, and his friends was like, wait, you don't have just anybody just spending the night with you. Like, what's going on? What's tea? Like, and I'm hearing the conversations and I'm up there laughing. And he was like, I know, but he's different. He's different. got to the point where and some of his friends, we are still friends today, like, and one of them is a famous person that a lot of people know. He had his own television show for a while. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna keep it there. But anyway, um so I will never forget, we went out to the club one night, and we were just dance, like both of us could dance. I'm trying to tell you, your boy can dance. Like, Bestie can tell you. I will, baby, turn on some good music. Even at this tender age of I will still get down. Okay, don't let the age factor fool you. I love me a nice dance floor. And so both of us was dancing, and I would never forget this moment because it ended with him jumping in front of me, and then all of we were just, it was a Beyonce song. That's all I could tell you at the time. It was Beyonce song. It's always Beyonce. That Virgo be, she know how to work her music. Okay, so we were dancing, and people actually thought we choreographed the dance because how we ended was he jumped in front of me, and I came behind him, went under his legs and popped up, and he held my waist, and we both was like this, like he's looking this way and I'm looking this way. People thought we choreographed that. No, we didn't choreograph that at all. It was just our chemistry was so intense. So intense. Like, we had the same goals. We wanted the same things. He was actually the first person I ever brought to my mother. He, like, the very first person. And like, he was like, "Yeah, ma, I'm gonna do this." And I'm looking at her, and she's like, "Yeah, son." And I'm looking at him like, "Hold up, how you gonna take my mama and you just meeting my mama for the first, like, that intense, right?" Um,
Okay.
Bestie, he came to our graduation. He was there for our graduate, the entire program. He came back.
Okay.
He came back. We rested in the room, and we just enjoyed each other's company. And he had to go before we had dinner, but he said, "I just wanted to make sure that you know that you were thought of, that you had a special day, things like that." And I was just like, wow, like, dude, like, okay, sir, like, you stepping up and showing out for the people. Like, if anybody after you is going to have a high bar, right? But whenever we would get and start talking about relationships, it was, "I just don't think I'm ready yet," or "I like I really enjoy your company. I just want to, flex and chill." And it was that type, but it was just like, you could tell it was so much more. So the next Capricorn that comes to mind, because there were a lot of random Capricorns, honestly. But the next one that comes to mind years later, same type of energy, like, we do things together. If you were to see us, you will see that there's a huge connection there. Like, people looking like y'all together type of energy. Same thing. uh just wanted to play around, just wanted to be a goof in things, and like, we chilled and kicked it. And it's like, you can trust me so much that you would do things that you normally wouldn't do around me. You would say things that you wouldn't normally say around me. Like, we have that much trust, but you don't want to take that next step. So for me, when it comes to Capricorns, I'm like, we have great chemistry. I can work with you. Dating you, I can never, because y'all will get right there at the door and freeze. And I guess my Sagittarius side of me is like, well, baby, we're gonna burn the door down because no entry.
Pause. Pause. Now that was going to be my next question, because let me just say, first and foremost, Capricorns are usually headstrong and they know what they want. But in the same breath, do you think at any point this particular person may have been accustomed to your rising sign more so than your sun sign? Because that's also a big, I don't want to say misconception, but that is also the first representative that a lot of people meet, and they continue to know until they really get into your heart space, where they can see who you are and what you're really like. So do you think at any point that this particular person was interacting with your rising more so than your sun sign? Because that was the topic that we talked about, I believe, Did we discuss that? No, I think I talked about that on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure if we discussed it. We might have, but I definitely spoke about it on my YouTube channel about how people, can confuse your rising sign for who you are until they get to know you. So, do you think at any point this person was more familiar with your rising than your sun?
No, I think the latter probably had more interactions with my rising sign than the first one. Now, the first one that went with me to my mom's and everything, we spent a lot more time together. Like it was almost at some points we was almost together, almost. I would say at least twice a month because he lived 2 hours away from Boone, and that traveling up and down that mountain can be right. So, but we made it work. But we stayed in constant contact in everything. Like, so I think he would have gotten more experience of my Cancer side, my sun sign, than the latter.
Okay, that's good to know, and that's always a question I have for people whenever they book readings or if they're trying to understand, understand, and overstand why there seems to be a hiccup or it's static or they can't figure out why they don't feel like they know this person. That's always my first question. What is the person's sun sign? And we have a question from your boy Will,
Yeah.
Virgo sun. When your comment is getting faded out. Virgo sun, Leo rising, Capricorn moon. People think that they know the depths of me, but they truly do not. I'm a unique individual, and people always rule me out once they say I'm a Virgo. They're lost. You know what? What is it with people with Virgos? I rock with Virgos. I really do. I rock with Virgos, but not on a relationship type level, just on a friendship level. But that Leo rising could probably like fool people. That's the thing, because they see you as being like the center of attention, walk in the room, all eyes on you, but that's not who you are to the core. That's just what people see. So I don't know, Will.
Right.
It's sticky. It's a sticky situation. It just depends. But it's all astrological, and I've studied astrology enough to know, who I'm going to be lifelong friends with, to who I know is never going to work relationship wise. And listen, Virgos are dope. I love Virgos. Just for some reason, it just, fire and Virgo, relationship wise, it doesn't spark.
It burns out.
Friend wise, they're dope.
It burns out.
What you gonna say, Maloon?
I was saying it burns out. I just and I could never understand it. Like whenever, like Virgos and I, we're like this, but it gets to a certain part and the Virgo starts to freak out, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Right.
It's that fire.
It's like, is there like
you know that on an astrological level because you study astrology, so it's not question marks like, dang, why is this not working out? You know, astrologically, the two just really don't see eye to eye. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's no beat. It's not like, oh, I can't stand, anyone who has Virgo placements. It's just a lot of signs just don't really don't see eye to eye.
I would say,
but it is their loss. Your boy Will. It's definitely their loss.
Right.
And a lot of water. Yeah. So you have minimum fire and a lot of water. I'm learning me better and better every day. Yeah, you are. And you know what? That comment you said about people thinking you want attention, that's your rising. So they see that side before they even come to you and you open your mouth to speak. They see the Leo in you. They see that and it's Leo season. What? Are you kidding me? Like, that's the first thing they see. They see that lion in you. Leo is ruled by the sun. So all the attention is going to be on you, whether you like it or not.
And we're still in this Capricorn full moon.
I mean, that Virgo's going to come out every now and then, like double dutch. But that's the first thing people see.
And we're still in this Capricorn full moon.
And we're still in full moon. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that, bestie. Listen, I've been doing my rituals because I usually mark on my calendar whenever it's a full moon so that I can get my rituals out. So I completely forgot it was a full moon. And you just reminded me. Okay, so let's keep this going. So that was the first question. Let's see. Okay. And okay, this is a good one. What is your astrological sign? And do you find yourself drawn to people who have signs that are considered opposite to yours? And why do you think that is? And let's see, Will is writing in the comments, but I'm a leader, which is a Leo the lion, and the attention. Why is your comment getting faded? And the attention is on me currently with my job. I'm manifesting in people that do me wrong. The truth is coming to light. Yeah. And you're
A Capricorn.
You're a light worker. It sounds like your boy Will. It sounds like you're a light worker, chosen one, earth angel, all of that. So anybody who's doing you wrong is gonna automatically get karma like off the rip, and not from anything that you're doing to them. It's your ancestors. It's your ancestors. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always enforce people, especially chosen ones. You don't have to get karma back because your ancestors got you.
They got you.
They got you. So you ain't got to get nothing back, Will. Just keep doing you. Keep being you. Because for this entire Leo season, all the attention is going to be on you. And people are going to start, recognizing you for more. Sorry, somebody's texting me. They're going to start recognizing your skills. And I discovered all those in my healing. Yes, please.
Soraya said, I attract a lot of Taurus and Cancers, but I'm a Gemini. I don't know where they be coming from.
I didn't know Soraya was a Gemini.
Yes.
I love Gemini. Yes. Tupac was a Gemini. My cosmic husband. Yeah, listen, I don't even answer the question yet. What is your astrological sign, and do you find yourself drawn to people who have signs that are considered opposite to you? Now I have to think about that because me being a Sagittarius sun, but a Scorpio rising. You like it? I love it. Thank you. I always thought that I was attracted to the quiet ones, guys that were cool, calm, but collected, but quiet. And that couldn't be any further from the truth because with all the fire in me, it's like I need someone to match my energy. So once I understood people on an astrological level, then it was easy for me to understand what I actually wanted and not what I thought I wanted. Because, once you deep dive into astrology, it kind of shifts everything that you thought you wanted. And it really puts a lot of things in perspective. Like, oh, okay, well, I thought that I wanted that. But, according to my birth chart, it says this, that, and the third. And that's really what I want. So, wait, Will's typing something. He says, I attract everyone except Gemini romantically. They hurt me and disrespected me the most. I'm very drawn to Pisces now, though. I need her big three. Yeah. Hold on. So you're a Virgo. Yeah, so you would vibe with Pisces. Yeah, you would vibe with Pisces. Water and earth, because you say you don't have a lot of fire in your chart. Yeah, so you would vibe with anything, any water sign. A lot of earth or water in their top three, but also look at their Venus too. What were you going to say, Bessie?
No, that's what I was just saying as well. Is since he has a lot of water in his chart, he naturally would be attracted to other water signs.
Attracted to water, And Soraya is saying her moon sign is in Pisces, so don't count out Gemini.
See?
Oh, so you're highly intuitive.
Yes.
Pisces moon, yeah. Yeah, Pisces moon, Cancer, especially Cancer moon, highly intuitive. Highly intuitive. Cancer moons and Pisces moons. And Scorpio moons. Very intuitive. But, all right, so now that I've answered that, so yeah, so it's like once you deep dive into your astrological makeup and what makes you up astrologically, like a snapshot of exactly where the planets were when you came into this world, and you get that report, you see that a lot of things that you thought you wanted were kind of like indoctrinated. Like you like learned them from like watching other people, or from like, trying to keep up with the Joneses. But once you get like a paper that teaches you about yourself, a lot of things start to click and make sense. A lot of things start to click and make sense, and you find out that you really didn't want what you thought you wanted, because for one, it's not working out. So if it's not working out and you're continuously going after it, that's insanity. Or for two, you wanted it because it was something that you saw someone else doing. So that's why I'm a firm believer of astrology. What's your saying, your boy Will? Exactly, I broke free into me.
Yeah.
And that's what you gotta do. People don't know how important astrology is. I saw one celebrity who shall remain nameless, and she was just like, y'all following astrology for real? And I'm just like, what's wrong with following astrology? Because it's never steered me wrong. It has yet to steer me wrong.
And
everything that
I was just saying, I met a young lady on Monday, no, Sunday. That's when it was, Sunday, and we had a similar conversation. And she asked about astrology, and she was like, how deep should we look into astrology for things? And I said, you have to look at astrology like a season. Like we know in the wintertime, the leaves, or we know in the fall that the leaves are going to start changing colors. We know that they're going to start falling. We know that the earth is going to get a little drier. We know in the wintertime, they are completely gone. The weather is crisp. And in the summer, obviously, it's hot, and the trees are out. In the springtime, we can expect pollen. We can expect a lot of rain. I said, so all of those things that we expect in the seasons, that's what how you have to look at astrology. That is how that person is going to act. They're going to act according to the season of, since we're in Leo, the season of Leo. So, and they're going to have certain characteristics, and we're going to know these people by the characteristics that the Leo season brings. So I said, if we looked at astrology that way, this whole, don't look at astrology would change.
Totally agree. Totally agree with that. And I'm just going to build off of that, because exactly. I'm going to also include what your boy Will said. That's why people have identity crisis. That is so true. You have to look at the season, like Bessie said, and you have to look at your chart, like your boy Will said, because it will never steer you wrong. And people do have identity crisis because they're trying to keep up with a false narrative, or they're trying to keep up with a facade that was never true to begin with. It's something that was learned. And everything that's learned is not necessarily correct. Sometimes when you deep dive into astrology, you have to unlearn a lot of shit. And that's tough. And that's why people go through the dark night of the soul, because you're basically washing yourself of 99.9% of what you learned, and you're reteaching yourself. So imagine reteaching yourself, if that's the right term, I don't know, re-educating yourself at like 30 years old. Like you've spent 30 years doing things a certain way, learning things a certain way, and now you have to basically re-educate yourself. That's tough for a lot of people, and that's why people have the dark night of the soul and they have identity crisis, because they basically have to start from scratch and relearn a lot of stuff that they thought was accurate and correct. So that's why I will always be the biggest cheerleader for astrology, because one, it has yet to steer me wrong. It provides challenges and growth, and it completely gives me insight into every relationship dynamic, platonic, boss, relationship, everything. Like, romantic, everything. I'm telling you, it'll never steer me wrong. What is the Dorian Gray portrait of Sariah?
And while she types that, I wanted to say, when you was talking about the identity crisis, just think of and I'm doing this because more familiar with these signs, right? So just think of Nelson Mandela, who is a Cancer sun, being somebody like hold on, who's like a famous like Ted Bundy. You cannot put Ted Bundy um and Nelson Mandela in the same boat. But say Nelson Mandela is like, oh, I'm gonna put down my love for people. I'm gonna put down my humanity side and the things that I use, and I'm gonna start being like this like Ted Bundy, who's a famous Pisces murderer, right? And then imagine Nelson Mandela trying to murder somebody, right? It's like you don't even fit that outfit. So that's why when people start saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be just like so and so," baby, be careful because if y'all were two different signs, and you were Cancer and you trying to be a Pisces, like maybe there's gonna be some things your intuition is going to click right because you're both water signs, but that dark side of that Pisces is not going to match the dark side of your Cancer, no matter how you try to do it. It's just not going to work. And the minute that you try to do this thing, like if Nelson Mandela was going to try to do things like Ted Bundy, it just wouldn't work for him because it to his core he's going to feel sick. Like how could I do this thing to this person? How could I do that to that person? Like Cancers are feelers. We feel these things to our core, and so it's like if a Cancer was to murder somebody, I don't care how often somebody would say Cancers are crazy and they flipped out and they would nip. If a Cancer was to kill somebody, a Cancer was going to feel that person's wound to their core. That Cancer is also going to feel the aftermath from the presence of the people that had the loss and the Cancer's family. All of that emotion. No Cancer wants that because we're feelers anyway.
Right. Right. Yes. Yes. And I'm going to build off of that too, Bessie, because I love when you segue into something that's completely different because it just reminds me of different time frames that have taught me the importance of learning from your opposite. And my oldest daughter, she is a Taurus sun, Cancer moon. And she's like, Cancers are crazy. Cancers are not crazy. Stop, Soraya. Who's a Taurus sun, Cancer moon. Me being a Sagittarius sun, Aquarius moon, sometimes I don't understand why things affect her so much. But that's the beauty of it. Because our moon signs are opposite, the Aquarius moon tends to be very detached, very much non-emotional, and very logical when it comes to emotions. But the Cancer moon is going to feel everything. They're going to sympathize with everyone. They are highly intuitive. So whenever they are around someone who's hurting, they feel it, they start hurting. So for me to have to parent someone with those qualities and those traits, it teaches me to be more in tune with my emotions. So it's just like that, like the astrological opposites. I'm learning from my daughter how to be more in tune with my emotions. And in return, she's learning that even though you feel something, sometimes you can channel that energy into doing something that can help you get through that tough part of your life. So it's beautiful. Like astrology can be tied to everything. And people don't even realize it. You can literally tie it to everything. And that's why we couldn't possibly cover everything astrological in just one podcast. Like it's too many different aspects to it to cover it. So that's why when my friend asked about, and I'll call you friend even though I don't know you, girl. I'm calling you friend because you're on our podcast. When our friend asked about will we be deep diving into the seventh house, that's a whole nother show. The seventh house, partnerships, relationships, like that's a whole nother show. But we will deep dive into that because it is very important to know what your partner's seventh house is, what your seventh house is, to see what you look for in a partnership. Maybe we'll talk about that next week, Bestie. I think that's a perfect follow-up from this
one.
show to talk about the seventh house. What you think?
Yes.
I think so. I think it's good. Happy to rest, happy to rise every single day, no matter what happens in the last 24 hours. Staying present is key. Yes, you have to stay present. Astrology gave you the tools. That's right. Astrology is like it really is a cheat code. It's a cheat code to life. And I think if a lot of employers had the prospective employees that were trying to apply for jobs, if they had their birth charts in front of them, they would know off the rip if this person is qualified for this particular job, if this person can work in this type of field. Like astrology is needed. It needs to be talked about more, and that's what we're doing. You have Pisces in your seventh house. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got to get in the seventh house. We have to get into partnerships. Next week, we will talk about the seventh house and the importance of it because we got too many people on here repping seventh house energy. So that's what we'll talk about next week, the seventh house and the importance. So let's keep it going. Third question. If you've been in a relationship with someone who's astrologically opposite to you, what were some of the challenges? Now, you kind of answered that with the first question, but how did the challenges contribute to your personal growth? So how did you grow spiritually from being with someone who was your complete opposite? How did that person help you grow spiritually? And I'm going to definitely answer this question after you, Bessie, because this question hits home.
Well, see, I don't know. That particular person did not teach me or help me to grow, because afterwards, it took many years before I realized that it wasn't me. Because at that moment in my life, I was at the point of what's wrong with me. Because at this point, I don't really, I've never been in a relationship, right? And now imagine being 21 years old saying you've never been in a relationship. Never. And you think you're on the brink of one and it still doesn't happen. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, well, what's wrong with me? Like, is it something? And I used to ask him, so he was like, no, you're good. And I'm like, okay, but I'm good, but I'm not good enough to date. Like, what's wrong? Is it my physical features? I'm just to give y'all a background, I was a big boy that got skinny. So of course, I'm still thinking like, is it my weight? Do I need to lose some more weight? Do I need to tone up a little bit more? Is it my personality? Is it like, well, what is it? And it was like, nothing, you're good. And it's like, how can you say I'm good, but you don't want to push things forward with me? Like, I couldn't conceptualize that. So I can't say that that person in particular pushed me.
Well, you know what I'm going to say, Bestie. This is one of my favorite sayings. Everyone is your teacher. And even if we are in tumultuous relationships where we feel like, you know what, I don't even know how I got myself involved in this situation. That person was the problem. This, that, and the third. I feel like everyone is our teacher. And that's just my 2 cents. But for me to answer that question, I would have to connect it to the twin flame journey, the yin and yang energy. And I connected to the twin flame journey because I feel like if you are selected to be on the twin flame journey, you are matched with someone who is your opposite in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not complete opposite, but there's some aspect to your charts where they are supposed to teach you something You're supposed to learn and vice versa. And it's that yin and yang energy. So in regards to the challenges and growth and how the twin flame journey has contributed to my personal growth, it has taught me that I'm not always right. And that was a tough pill to swallow. That was a tough pill to swallow. It's taught me that I'm not always right and that everybody grows at their own pace. And even if I'm here, not necessarily here, but even if I'm here and I'm doing my thing, they don't have to be here. They're going to move at their own pace. And they're going to grow and learn lessons and go through stuff that they signed up to go through. And we learn from each other. And it's really no end. Like, it's no finale. I feel like the journey goes on beyond into the astral realms, even after we crossed over. And that's the beauty of the twin flame journey. It never ends. It's into infinity because that person is literally a part of your soul. So it never dies. It never goes anywhere. And yes, your boy Will, twin flame journey is not for the weak. I'll be the first person to say that. It's not for the weak. It has contributed to of growth. It actually was the nudge I needed to start this page, to be honest with y'all. I started this page while on my twin flame journey, this channel, this Instagram. And I connected it to, like, I took my pain and I turned my pain into power, and it went viral. So I can thank my twin flame for that. But yeah, it's definitely not for the weak. But it's the most beautiful journey I have ever been on. Well, and I will say that.
I was gonna say, so like, one thing as you was talking, I thought about some information that I found. First of all, I love Guapale. Like, she is, oh my gosh, I love her. She's a Cancer, so obviously, and I didn't know that. Guapale, she is Guapale. I'm gonna type her name in the chat. She's like a soul singer, and she.
Oh, I know. With the dreads, right?
Yes. Well, she no longer has them. She cut them. Yes.
Oh, she. Oh.
Yes. But so, and I had to pull up her song because she has a song called what is it? Good Love. And so I was listening to her already. This song was already on my playlist. But when I did meet that first Capricorn that I was talking about, this song helped me to kind of understand why there were certain things. And I was just like, okay. And it's called Good Love. So look it up if you are a Capricorn or a Cancer, or even if you're not, just listen to it. It's a really good song. But it talks about your right, but it talks about your astrological opposite, and it kind of gives you an idea of what to look for, right? So it starts off with her saying, "Sometimes I don't feel you, you don't feel me. We're distant, we need space, but I'm coming back for you because you're my true blue. You're a Capricorn, I'm Cancer, and sometimes we can't relate, but we meet at the center. That's where love is tender. You're my first phone call, my best friend. You could never be replaced. If I'm not there beside you, I'm just a hop, skip, a jump away. I question everything. It's 10 years and I still can't get it straight. Just know that I love you, always thinking of you." And so when I'm thinking of these things, I always go to, so with Capricorns and Cancer, we're not going to meet, we're not going to see eye to eye. And then it made me look into the astrology of what's the difference between Capricorn and Cancer. And the one thing that it kept saying was that both of them are heading in the same direction, but Capricorn would say, "I think we should go left." Cancer say, "I think we should go right." and both of them are right. And so it's just like when you're looking at your sign, you also have to think, and I was thinking about it as you was talking about your the twin flame, right? Because the twin flame, yes, there's that chase. And I hate that chase because I don't chase after nobody, baby. Baby, I will let you walk out that door and you can keep going. And if you decide to come back, oh, you come back. But if you don't, okay, well, you don't. I'll find somebody else or I won't. Either way, the thing about it is that in that moment in time, whoever is the person that's running or pulling away from the relationship, and in their mind, they're right. They're doing the right thing, right? And of course, whoever the healed person is, it's like, baby, you doing it all wrong, but I'm gonna let you go on because I can't do that. I have to stay here because this is my protected space. I've done too much work to leave from this space, right? And so in essence, they are right until that person comes back around and say, recognize their mistakes. And so that's what I get out of those lyrics is that you are like you're both right because in that moment in your life, you are right. That's the thing that you need to do at that moment in time for your life. Now, whether or not it's in the stars for you two to come back together in that way or not, you both made your decision and you both, because to your point, not all twin flames are meant to be together. Like you can have them, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be your return because you're also, oh my gosh. Okay, well, y'all gonna have to hear a private conversation. So, Bestie, I was looking at one of my girls, and they said I had a twin flame and a soulmate coming in at the same time. Baby, what am I supposed to do with that? A twin flame and a soulmate that's coming for me, that's trying to run me, baby. Why you universe? Why are you making me choose like this? And one I'm already, attached to, so that means I gotta watch them walk away and then they gotta watch somebody else come in, and then I gotta make a decision between like Solomon did, like that's a lot of work. But in it, as myself, I have to sit with what is the best choice for me. So that's why even though like you can be involved with your astrological opposite, you have to determine what is best for you at the end of the day. You have to determine no matter how much we balance each other out, baby, if it's that one thing that rubs you the wrong way, if it's that one red flag, that one red flag is still a red flag, even if it's just the tip of that flag, it's still a red flag. So you have to sit with yourself with that.
That's right. And to your point, that is very true about twin flame because there's this thing called free will. And even if you guys want to ride off in the sunset, they can always choose to go another route. But ultimately, we hope and we pray that our twin flame eventually comes on board. But like I said, these connections are eternal. So even if they decide to take another route, whatever route they take, it's gonna lead to your ass. Okay, it's gonna always lead back to you.
Back to you.
I don't know what different energies you have coming in, Bestie, but stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. And for our last question, you guys are going to love this. Can you think of any famous couples who are considered polar opposites astrologically? And what do you think attracted them to one another despite their astrological differences? I can think of someone off the rip, a couple off the rip. Jay-Z and Beyonce. We have the Virgo, the Beyonce exudes every day. And then we have the fiery Jay-Z. So what do you think attracted them to each other? Because I know, pause before you answer it, a famous astrologer, Sloan, she actually did a breakdown of both of their chart. And she found that, even though on or off paper, just by looking at them, they may look like they're opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But the way she broke down their both charts, she was like, they not going nowhere. Like they were basically made for each other, despite her son being a Virgo, his son being a Sagittarius. I think his Venus is also Sagittarius, and I think her Venus is Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on it. I haven't looked at her birth chart in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I know her moon is Scorpio.
So what's funny is that you're talking. So when you're talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, we're talking about a Virgo Sagittarius relationship. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to point that out. So and see, and so for me, it's like I could kind of see already where that pull came from, like why there was so much heat. But it's almost like, and I would have to see the rest of their sign, their top three, and then of course their Venus.
Right.
But I would say out of that, it's like the Sagittarius side is like, I've been here, I've done this, I've I've done the conquest and I've conquered. And she's like, okay, and I can't get her upgrade you video out of my head, because I can only imagine this Southern girl, first of all, because you talking about, I mean, opposites even in that. She's from Houston, he from come on. Like she's like, let me tell let me I can let me give you some of this home cooked collard greens and biscuit dipping in the honey sauce. Like let me show you something new. Let me show you a new culture. And she's coming in with all her Virgo energy, being grounded, and just like, baby, you can leave all your glitz and glam from that city life, but when you come to the country, we ain't got all that glitz and glam. We got nothing but earth. Let me earth you. And so he's just like, yo, like, you gonna really hold me down? Yeah, I'm gonna hold you down. You can have your glitz and glam over there, but when you come over here, know that you're gonna get a home cooked Southern cooked meal. Okay, that's what I get.
Pause, bestie, because I always remember people's Venus sign. Jay-Z is a Venus in Sagittarius, so not only is he a sun Sagittarius, his Venus is in Sagittarius, and when your Venus is in Sagittarius, it means that you kind of like, not that you all over the place, don't get it twisted, because I know a lot of people whose Venuses are in Sagittarius and they are loyal, but they don't like to be tied down. So I'm gonna just say that they don't like to be tied down. So that may kind of allude to all of the instances where he was caught cheating, or where she made, ring the alarm. Or, that song she was crying on stage. I forget the whatever song she was singing, where she was just boo-hooing. Like, that may be the reason why, because of the Venus and Sagittarius, on top of being a Sagittarius sun. Sagittariuses do not want to be tied down, unless they're tied down to someone that they feel like they're not tied down to. So we want to be tied down without feeling like we're being tied down, right? Basically. But continue. I'm sorry, I just want to point that out.
Okay. And then the other couple, and I mentioned them because you brought them up, right? But for me, I had to look at Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne, because they are complete opposites. Like, I was like, Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne.
Really? Why you say that?
Yes, because I was like, yes, she's rock and roll, but there's this side of Sharon that is like so welcoming and stuff. And I didn't get a chance to really, I didn't know that about her in particular, because everybody knew Ozzy. Everybody knew how wild and crazy that man was. Like, so it's to see that he has a wife that is so, hi, how are you doing? Want tea and crumpets? Let's do lunch. It's like, girl, how is it that you are what they were calling at one point, the godfather of the Dark Lord, or whatever, of hell, basically. And she's just like, oh, that's just Ozzy. And so Ozzy is also a Sagittarius. But yes, Ozzy is a Sagittarius, but Sharon is a Libra. So of course she was the balanced one. She was like, I'm going to have to be his balance because he is too out there. He is too free. He's going to need something to kind of stabilize him. Okay, well, you go out and do what you do, but just know when you come home, we're not having all of that. We're gonna have peace in this household. And that's kind of like what you saw. If you saw the show, you kind of see that.
Say that one more time because your audio went out.
Okay. Which part? What?
You said that Sharon is a Libra, so that balance, and then your audio went out.
Okay, so that balance is what Ozzy Osbourne needed, because if he's out doing his thing and being free, she's gonna say like, you go ahead and do that out there, but when you come home, it's gonna be peace. We're gonna be together. And you kind of saw that in their show where she always calmed him down. And he's just like, all right, fine, I'll let you have it your way. And she's like, it's not my way, it's what's right, right? And so
Right.
that's kind of like that other tug and pull of a relationship. But it's like, whereas one is wild, or I just there's got to be at least one calm person in a relationship, right? You both can be rowdy, you both can be very loud and boisterous, but one of you is going to tone down a little bit, going to be toned down than the other, because there has to be some kind of groundedness in the relationship. So that's where I was getting at, is that no matter how the relationship spin off, there's going to be some sort of balance where one's going to be pulling up and one's going to be pulling down. But when it gets to the max, it's like boom, okay, well, we've gone as far as we can go, and we're going to stick right here.
That's right. That's right, Magoon. And so now you guys have heard it here first. Maybe not first, but you guys have heard it here, that even though you may have two energies that are astrologically opposite, you can learn from the other person in so many different ways that we've discussed on this podcast thus far. And it's so vital. It's so vital for you guys to, especially if you have a lot of fire in your chart or a lot of water in your chart, to make sure that you have some friends that have some earth in them. I don't think I've spoke on that yet, but that just came to mind. To make sure that you guys have some people around you that got some Virgo in them, they got some Capricorn in them, and the other earth signs, Taurus, because they're going to ground you. They're going to ground you. Now, I'm not saying the fire signs aren't grounded. I'm not saying the water signs aren't grounded. But if you have quite a bit of fire and air in your chart, me, or if you have a lot of water in your chart, or if you have a lot of fire in your chart, like Bestie, you need to have some body around you that has some earth in their chart. Mm-hmm. It just makes sense. It makes sense because you're going to be balanced and they're going to ground you. So that was all the questions that I had, and I completely forgot about you reading the cards, Magoon. I don't even know if you still wanted to do that, but I'm not going to not give you the floor to be able to do that, because I didn't even ask you if you wanted to read the cards first. So please forgive me.
No, you are fine. I was going to say we can do like a quick card pull for the opposites. Okay. And I did already go ahead and pull Aries and Libras, because that was the first one that you did. So I said, all right, we can go with that one. We'll go with that one. And so the first card that came out was the Four of Pentacles, and I said, okay. And so then I said, so for the Aries, what Libra, the thing that Libra teaches you is how to kind of pull back some, is basically what I get. Because the Four of Pentacles is that energy of, for me, for this particular card, this is the card that I say when you're trying to save money or you need to save money, this is the card for you. And so it's like Aries, the Libra side of you is like, or your Libra opposite is will teach you how to pull back some. You don't have to always give, and do. Sometimes you have to sit back and receive. And then for the Libra, going from the Aries, is the World card. And I said, okay. And what came to me was that the Aries can teach the Libras how to master their own world. It's okay to be balanced, but also you have to take command in that balance. You can't be like, oh, well, things will work out. I'm just going to let things happen and fall in. I'm going to let the stones fall where they are and they're going to fall into a perfect pattern and I'll skip across. No, Aries is like, no, baby, I need you to put them stones where you want them to be placed and take charge.
That's right.
And the energy that you both give each other is that of a pregnancy test. It's like, oh my God, did you just do that? Oh my God. Like, did you really just and both sides look at each other and said, yes, I did. And so I said, okay. All right now. So you can go ahead with the comments as I pull for the next card.
Now wait, pause, Bessie, because someone just asked a question. What about two Cancers being in a relationship? Do you want to answer that with you being a Cancer?
So I guess, can you be a little bit more specific with that one? What would you, what are you saying? Like, are you saying that it's a train wreck or is it a beautiful thing or?
And also, if you do have the top three, like do you have the moon sign? Because that plays a significant factor in how the person expresses their emotions. So if you have their moon sign, also drop that in the comments. You don't have to drop their name in the comments. Just let us know if you have their moon sign and your moon sign as well, and then we'll see. We'll let you know.
All right. Oh wow, that's too funny. This Four of Pentacles is coming out for a lot of cards. Oh, okay. Now which one? Okay, I was told both of them. All right. So then when we come to the Taurus and Scorpio. So the Taurus, in the Taurus energy, what the Scorpio energy can show the Taurus is the sun sign. How to receive blessings. Taurus is so independent that Taurus will say, I'm a do, I'm a do, I'm a do, I'm a do, I'm a do. And Scorpio is like, okay, but in your doing, also know that you need to receive. Also know that when the universe is trying to give you something, that you don't block it, that you don't turn it away because no, I got it, I'm good. No, sometimes if somebody wants to take care of you, let them, right? And then at the same time, from Taurus to Scorpio, what the Taurus can teach the Scorpio is that Four of Pentacles energy, how to also tone it back. Because like you sometimes it's good that it's good to be in this energy, right? That people can pour into you, right? But sometimes you gotta be modest and say, no, I got it. Especially when you see that that person is struggling themselves and they're still trying to overdo and overgive, and it's like the Scorpio's like, well, they gonna give it to me, so I'm gonna take it. And and Taurus is like, no, let's look at the full situation. Let's look what's going on in the background, right? Like, we got to be modest a little bit. And so I said, well, what energy is that giving? And it also gave pregnancy test vibes. It's like, did you really do that? But then but then at the same time, it's like, you said that, but at the same time, you like, oh, but it's popcorn. I'm gonna watch what happens next. It's like that episode. It's like if you watch reality TV show when Andy Cohen would say, watch what happens next live, with Andy Cohen. And it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna stay up these extra hours to see what's about to happen because you did X, Y, and Z, and I'm about to see what goes down, how this gonna turn out. And it's like, And both of those energies is like, if you learn to accept, and if you learn to stop accepting and be and be a little modest, watch how things happen for you, right? Watch how it's not juicy gossip that happens for you, or juicy situations, sticky situations, but watch how it tones down a bit for you.
That's right. That's right. I love when Bessie read them cards because that energy be hitting. Like, it always hits. Even if we don't even speak about like what we're going to discuss, like it always applies to what we're talking about. And I love that. And that's why energy is fluid. And you can tap into people's energy and the collective's energy, because that's what, spiritualists do. We're able to tap into energy. And it's always accurate, no matter what.
Okay. And next, I'm pulling for Gemini and Sagittarius. Gemini and Sagittarius. Okay. I was trying to see if another card would come, and Spirit said nope, it's the same card. So we're gonna see why. So when it comes to Gemini and Sagittarius, it's both for both of you. It's the Three of Wands energy, right? So for one of you, for okay, Spirit, give me the message for Gemini to Sagittarius. Okay, so for Gemini to Sagittarius, what the Gemini will do for Sagittarius is tell them how to watch for your blessings to come, how to be patient, how to be, I know you want this thing now, but I need you to be a little bit patient, right? Um, because when I'm okay, I'm gonna get into the other card next, so and you'll understand what I'm saying, because there's a portion as to why the Sagittarius sometimes feel a certain way about certain things. And it's like the Gemini's like, okay, sweetie, I need you to be patient. Just I need you to wait on it. It's coming. I need you to wait. And then for the Sagittarius to the Gemini, they're like, wait, but be ready to tackle that thing when it gets here. Don't just wait or say, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna wait. And then when the thing presents itself to you, you take like a nonchalant way of going for it. It's like Sagittarius said, nope. When it gets there, tackle it. Just like she's holding this surfboard. When she find that perfect wave, baby, she's going for it. Although she's waiting for the wave, she's gonna wait for it. And in both energies, it was that the betrayal card came out, right? And with the betrayal card, it says deceit, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted. And it's like for both energies, it's saying in order to get out of that mindset of feeling betrayed and deceit, like Sagittarius, I want you to learn how to be patient and wait for it. Because when you do things out of order and you put you into the energy, if somebody was to say something wrong, it's almost like, oh, did that person interrupt my plans? Did this person do this to me? And it's like now I can't trust because you don't understand if that person really did something or if it's the universe. It's like you kind of confuse yourself a bit. And then with Gemini, with them not tackling the situation, it's like, oh well, I knew this was going to turn out this way anyway, because the opportunity presented itself, but it didn't come to me like it was supposed to. And in that energy, no, you're supposed to go out and get it. When you see it, you get it because you know it's yours. It's like looking at a dartboard. I know what that center dart is, right? But if I hit it and I hit the mark, then baby, it was meant for me, right? Because I know I seen it for myself that it was for me. So in order to stop feeling betrayed, go tackle and go get your mark, Gemini. All right. And I want you to say a reflection because my camera just flicked at me, so I need to go get my charger very quickly. Forgive me, y'all. We're still packed up from my trip.
I had to get my charger too. We
Yeah.
still on.
Yes, we are very much still on here. Technical difficulties, but this was on my end this time. All right. So now we're going to get into Cancer and Capricorn. Oh, okay.
Mom, put it away.
Okay. Okay. So for Cancer and Capricorn. So for Cancer to Capricorn, what I got is actually the Cancer card, the Chariot card, which is the movement card. So what a Cancer can teach a Capricorn is how to seize the moment. Stop always being in la la land, right? It's like Capricorns are so methodical. It's like they have a okay for this I'm going to do this, and for that I'm going to do this. And so for Cancer, it's like it's that seize the moment. That's literally what I'm hearing. It's like seize the moment. Go ahead and seize the day. Seize the moment and stop playing. You already know where you want to go. You already know what you want to do. You already know who to connect with. Just do it. Don't what's to wait for. Um, and for Capricorn to Cancer, it's also the sun energy. But what it is the message that I got was Capricorns can teach Cancer how to live in the moment because as cancers, we're always thinking forward, we're always wanting to go out and do things. It's just like um we get into this fantasy world, what have you, right? And when we're in that fantasy world, baby, it's just like it's we can do this and we can do that and we can do this. And Capricorn's like, but baby, here's the reality. This is what this is the sun, right? That sun, if you don't have on your 75 proof sunscreen, is gonna burn you. I need you to go put on some sunscreen and realize that you out here in the sun basking, right? It's like Capricorns will teach them how to get out of that fantasy world and come to reality and embrace what's the present moment, right? And for both they can teach each other how to not make bad choices and how to not miss opportunities, but also how to not be in that mode of feeling like they are being kicked to the curb, right? Because by both teaching how to seize the moment and then by embracing what's in front of you, the reality of it all, you're not going to feel like you're being kicked to the curb because you're seeing things for as they are and not as how you hope them to be, right? So that is for Capricorn and Cancer. Now we're going to go to Leo, and Aquarius. So Will, I hope you're still on, because Virgo is next.
Yeah. Virgo's next.
So this is for Leo and Aquarius. Oh, okay. So the two cards are at the bottom. Um. Okay. Do y'all see that card flip out that way? All right. So, okay. So for Leo to Aquarius, the Leo can teach the Aquarius on how to celebrate themselves. Um, I'm seeing the picture of the Aquarius, and it's the water barrier that pours and pours and pours. So it's giving me like, because you pour out so much and because you do so much for other people, you very rarely have time to celebrate yourself. And a Leo is going to celebrate himself with or without the party. So it's saying Leo can teach the Aquarius how to celebrate, either by themselves or with the crowd. But I'm gonna teach you how to celebrate. And then with the Aquarius to Leo, the Aquarius is going to teach the Leo the Seven of Cups energy. Baby, you have choices in happiness. You choose your happiness. Don't allow things to determine. Don't allow things to determine your happiness, right? And the energy that I'm getting is literally a wet cat. Cats don't like to be wet, right? Or typically, and in years ago, cats didn't like the water, didn't care too much for the water. So it's giving me that wet cat energy, like, oh my gosh, I got to make a choice. Like, no, no, you know what? If it is for me, it's for me. If it ain't for me, it ain't for me, you know? And Aquarius is like, no, I need you to know that you got to make a choice in your happiness, because that dark side of a Leo is a complete opposite. And it's like, it gives me the cowardly lion, but it also gives me that wet cat energy. It's just like, oh my God, it's like they're shocked. And it's like, I can't believe you did this to me. And it's like, baby, you're the king of the jungle. You have a voice. You can decide who you don't want in your space. And because you allow outside influences to make that for you, um, that's not who you are. It's not giving the true you. It's giving that weaker side of you. And so both would teach you how to celebrate yourself in different ways. And the energy that I get, I absolutely love. I'm sorry, but I love this Leo Aquarius energy card. It's the same energy of parents expecting a new child, and new beginning is there. It's like y'all give each other a new beginning. You give each other, like, if you want to, if you're expecting right now, if you want something in your life, let me show you how to get that way. Let me show you how to be comfortable in what's the word I want to use? It's not solidified. It let me show you how to embrace. There we go. That's what I want to use. Let me show you not only how to be comfortable with your choice, but let me show you how to embrace it in a way where you will start to nurture your choices. You will start to nurture yourself and celebrate yourself. So that's the energy that Leo and Aquarius give each other. And then last but certainly not least are my Virgos and the Pisces. Virgo and Pisces.
Y'all still up with us? Last one, Virgo Pisces.
All right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it's this is so interesting, and you'll see why. Because just imagine, and and Ashley will know more so of what I'm saying. Just think of our other Ashley and my ex when you hear this reading. Like, yeah, it's nothing bad, but you'll see. There it goes. I was like, okay, oh, it's two. A lot of signs got two cards tonight. Okay, so the Virgo can teach the Pisces how to not be in that dark energy. Virgo can teach Pisces how to not be in that dark energy. Not how to, you don't have to manipulate people to get what you want. You don't have to try to pull strings and sabotage things to get what you want. I can show you a pure way of doing things. And it's ironic because Virgo is the virgin. Purity. That's what you're going to get from a Virgo. And what the Pisces will teach the Virgo is how to be, I'm hearing fruitful is the word with the four of pentacles yet again showing her face. I can teach the Virgo how to be fruitful, how to turn I'm hearing how to turn their wisdom into money is what I'm hearing. Because Pisces do have this look of money. They look at money so differently than everybody else. And we can say that we have our Pisces and our circle is an accountant. That's what she does, right? She's all about money. She can teach us how to save, how to invest. She's a money person, right? And so was my ex. He was a money person, but also our Virgo friend would teach my ex like, you don't see that certain things that you're doing is bad, and no, I don't see it that way. It's not that, and she's like, but that's you know, like for example, there was one conversation that we had, and he said, "I'm not angry," and she was like, but you said you was irritated and you was frustrated. That's anger. Those are signs of anger. Those are stemcasts of anger. um, so you can't say that you're not angry when you're showing signs of anger, basically. And so that her Virgo side was saying, showing his Pisces side, like you are showing these things and you're being manipulative with them, but you don't have to do that. um and so the energy that they both teach each other is not how to be a copycat but be an original. But they both also teach each other to fight for what they love. And I like that because it's like in the bottom side of the card says claiming what's yours. Love is a battlefield. So there would be times where the Pisces would give up, right? And Virgo is like, no, you got to fight for what's yours. Like, let me show you. Like, I'm not going to give up that easily, and so shouldn't you. And Pisces is like, you don't have to copy nobody else to be who you are. Be you authentically because everybody see you. And then Spirit also wanted me to get another tarot card, and I was like, okay, I can see it. Because out of those two, they get a balance. They have that work together um energy when it comes to this. When it comes to these energies right here, how they help each other, it's that I'm gonna work with you on these things and it's unified. And we actually see that. Me and Ashley have seen that within our friendship circle, so we know it's true about the Virgos. So I hope you all saw something, got something out of the reading as it pertains to your direct opposite, because that's the energy that they can teach you how to be in. And so, and like she and Ashley said earlier, we all got to have some sort of an earth sign to keep us grounded, you got to find at least one person that's of your opposite sign that can teach you what you need to learn. Back to you, bestie.
Definitely. No, you are so right. Hopefully, you guys just got a glimpse of all the information that Bestie just read to you guys with the cards. He is a whiz with these tarot cards, and this is why we always save the best for last. So hopefully, you guys got something out of it. We will upload the live for those of you that weren't able to stay on for what I feel like is the best part of the show. The reading of the cards, because I feel like you are always reading my life, like, to me, whenever you pull the tarot cards out. So we will make sure to upload this, and we hope that you guys got something out of this segment. Like we always say, we do this for y'all. We are healers, but we do this for you guys so that you can learn more about yourself. Knowing thyself helps you to heal thyself. So that's why we give you guys so much information about yourself so that you can heal. So if I'll get you a Band-Aid. So if you guys that are just not coming on now, if you're new to the show, we do this every Tuesday, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. The show, in case you didn't peep the topic, Cards and Conversations, where every episode unfolds a deck of intriguing discussion. So we will be back here next Tuesday, same time, same place, and we will be talking about the 7th house and the significance of it in your birth chart. So make sure you guys check us out next week. Same time, same place, Cards and Conversations. All right. And thank you guys for joining on what I feel like may have been our longest episode. I don't think we've ever gone almost 2 hours.
Right.
This is our longest show. Usually it's a good 45 minutes. So this has definitely been our longest show. So we appreciate those of y'all who thugged it out with us.
Yes.
Our day ones from the sandbox. So yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Same time.
Same.
Peace.
Peace.